Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurumritanjena Tasmai Shri-Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhisam Satyam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa-kadam Mahim Dhanati Swapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakti Vrindavan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Lord Gita Cities Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita Cities, chapter 14. The three modes of material nature, text number 8. Tashman pragyana jamvidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramada lasya nidhabis tanibhadanti bharata. Tashman pragyana jamvidhi mohanam sarvadehinam Pramadalasya nidhabis tanibhadanti bharata. Tasmastragyana vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya nidhabis tanibhadanti bharata. Tamaha, the mode of ignorance. Two, but. Agyajam, produce of ignorance. Vidhi, no. Mohanam, the delusion. Sarvadehinam, of all embodied beings. Pramada, with madness. Alasya, indolence. Nidradi, and sleep. That. Ibadnanti, blind. Bharata, O son of Bharata. Translation and purport by Divine Princess Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is a delusion of all embodied living entities. The result of this mode of madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. Purport. In this way, the specific application of the word "to" is very significant. This means that the mode of ignorance is a very peculiar qualification of the embodied soul. The mode of ignorance is just the opposite of the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, by the development of knowledge, one can understand what is what, but the mode of ignorance is just the opposite. Everyone under the spell of the mode of ignorance becomes mad. And a madman cannot understand what is what. Instead of making advancement, one becomes degraded. The definition of the mode of ignorance is stated in the Vedic literature. Vashtu tatarnya jnana varakam viparyaya jnana janakam tamaha. Under the spell of ignorance, one cannot understand the thing as it is. For example, everyone can see that his grandfather has died, and therefore he will also die. Man is mortal. the children that he conceives will also die. So death is sure. Still, people are madly accumulating money and working very hard all day and night, not caring for the eternal spirit. This is madness. In their madness, they are very reluctant to make advancement in spiritual understanding. Such people are very lazy. When they are invited to associate for spiritual understanding, they are not much interested. They are not even active like the man who is controlled by the mode of passion. Thus, another symptom of one embodied in the mode of ignorance is that he sleeps more than is required. 6 hours of sleep is sufficient. But the man in the mode of ignorance sleeps at least 10 or 12 hours a day. Such a man appears to be always dejected and is addicted to intoxicants and sleeping. These are the symptoms of a person conditioned by the mode of ignorance. Why we people are not interested in Krishna consciousness? Krishna consciousness is compared to other organizations. We have great numbers of people going to different places. Why very few people come to Krishna consciousness? And even those who come to Krishna consciousness, why we don't make so much advancement? Why advancement is not so fast? Like someone goes to school in a material school, someone goes to school, within 5 years is expected to have a certificate. 5 years. But we don't see that in a Krishna consciousness. That within 5 years we expect someone to be a pure devotee. So like Bhakti Dhira Damodara, one day he said to his student, "Today I'm going to speak about something which I know all of you are not interested. And I know you are not interested because there is no qualification. The mode of ignorance is predominating. The mode of ignorance is people are not interested. We have no taste for Krishna consciousness. But it is expected that anyone who has come to Krishna consciousness for 15 years should be able to hear this. 15 years. You should hear this. But he admitted that I know that majority of people are not ready. 15 years, you should be able to know where we are, our level in Krishna consciousness, that we are very attached to Krishna, we have taste for Krishna, we have Krishna consciousness is very meaningful, something we can embrace it like, and people are embracing money. You know? We don't have the same attachment people have for money, for Krishna, for God. People work very hard and night, day and night, very hard, day and night. Why would people work like that? Ignorance. Ignorance. Of all the creatures, all of us, all the creatures here, those entities that they can move, Of course, human beings will have eyelid. Huh? Our eyelids is means you can close and open. Other animals also they have that. Ant doesn't have eyelids. Have you checked? Ant does not have eyelid. Means what? They don't sleep. Ant doesn't sleep because they are they're working 24 hours a day. Isn't it? What is the gain? What is the gain for the ant? What is the gain? The ant. Eh? Eat. Just to eat. They work 24 hours. So human beings also are working 24 hours just to eat. What is the difference? What is the difference between the ant and the human being?
Doing the same thing in a bigger way.
By doing the same thing in a bigger way, in deeper ignorance. The ant will not go to hell, but human beings will go to hell. That's a bigger way. There's nothing more than that. That the ant will not go to hell. They work 24 hours busy looking for what to eat. The human beings are also busy working 24 hours looking for what to eat and go to hell. Ant doesn't go to hospital, human being goes to hospital. Both are in ignorance. But the human beings are unfortunate living entities in ignorance. Unfortunate. The ants are not, the ants are fortunate. The human beings are unfortunate. Because we have a better opportunity. We have a higher intelligence to do something which is better. When we're not using the facility which is given to us to advance our life, not the material consciousness, but the spiritual consciousness. The ant doesn't have that facility, but nature has placed them in a better situation that they will not degrade. The ant will not degrade. They will go to a higher state. After quitting the present body, they will get the better body. They get the better body. They get the better body. The human being doesn't have that chance. We can go down, can go up, we will remain the same place. So if we simply live a life like the ant, busy 24 hours without asking about the God of life, we will go to hell because the opportunity has been given and we don't use it. So this way, Krishna is talking about the mode of ignorance. Mode of ignorance. I'll give an example here. Every day, people are saying that someone is dying. Every day, right? I don't believe there's always funeral every weekend. You know?
Yeah.
They say weekend, every weekend, a funeral. Funeral, not a birthday, it's funeral. Means someone has left the body in the family and we're celebrating. Celebrating the departure of the person. But people gather to celebrate the family members who have departed. What are we thinking? That the next time it will be my turn? Anybody think like that? Nobody think that, okay, he or she has left, the next may be my own turn. Nobody think like that. Everybody, when people are drinking and eating, who think that I'm going to be the next person? Nobody remembers that. Everybody thinking, no, it's not going to happen to me. Look at me, I'm just 20 years. I have long life. See, I'm very educated. I can get money. I can get whatever I want. Anything I can do it. Yes. This is happening every day. It's happening every day that people will change the body. They're going to change the body. But the time is coming very soon. See, look very carefully. Mode of ignorance. It's taking our heritage imperceptibly because the mode of ignorance. We don't see that is happening. My father lived. Even in 𝐾𝐻, not only the old people are dying, children are also dying before the parents, which is inauspiciousness. Which will give us a chance to try more. But still we don't listen, we don't see that. The parents are having funeral for the children. It's inauspicious. It is the children who should have funeral ceremony for the parents. And 𝐾𝐻 is opposite. What is happening? Ignorance. We don't see. We don't see what is happening and learn from it. I better get ready because people are going. So I better get ready. If you keep cows here, or goat, you keep goat here, or sheep, or keep all the animals here in the front of a slaughterhouse. It's a slaughterhouse. How do you call it in local way? Abattoir, where animals are being killed. That is the place for killing animals. Just here, and the animals which are not killed, they are all this side, and they are feeding them grass. The rope is on the neck, right? The rope is on the neck, and the grass is in the front, and the goat is there busy eating. The next one has been taken and never come back. And every day he sing, they all sing that the number is reducing. You know, the increasing, the number is reducing. Means what? And one day I'm going to leave this place and I'm going to come back here. But who cares about what is going to happen? If it happens to a human being, what will we do? If it happens here, but a human being, what will we do? We are saying big rage, we revolt. That's what we say. Something which nobody can escape. It's something that nobody can escape it. As sure as death, people say. Even though we say as sure as death, no preparation for death. That is a mode of ignorance. Ignorance is dominating. It doesn't matter who we are in this material world. We're going to change the body and take another body. What are we doing before the change of the body counts? What are we doing? Nobody answers that question. Every day. And to make it worse, people are gathering in the so-called religious places. Not to discuss this. People gather everywhere and clapping hands, celebrating our foolishness. Not preparing for death. It's ignorance, the mode of ignorance. Because that is the main business of having a human body. Is anything any one of us are going to have today which will be die? Is anything anyone can think of that if you have it today, the whole world is going to, nobody has ever had it, it's only you, but the first person in this world? Is anything anyone can think of something that today any one of us say will have it and the whole world will come and celebrate you? Anything you can think of? Huh? Is there anything anyone can think of that if I get it today, the whole world come at my feet? Is there anything? Is there anything we think that what if I get it now, It is not an old thing, it's a new thing. Huh? If you become a billionaire today, you are the first person? Or you're the last person? So what is so important about it? What is so important about it? That people have given the human nature, people have given up human nature to become a base animal. That we are dealing with each other without concern, without caring, without thinking. What would be the result of what I'm doing? Who will think about it these days? We don't consider what will be the result of what I'm doing. Which religion is teaching us that today? That we should be careful with what we're doing. Instead, we are being promoted. If you're not sinful in 𝐾𝐸𝐬𝐢, you don't exist. To exist in 𝐾𝐸𝐬𝐢, you must be sinful. Break all regulated principles. Then you are a man. That's ignorance, a mode of ignorance. Ignorance is controlling the whole world, the whole universe, controlled by ignorance. That people are mad. Huh? If you see someone standing in the street there and stretching a hand like this on the road, what would you think of that person? Huh? A person. You know what we are doing? Is not what all of us are doing? Is not what all of us are doing? Struggling to become a billionaire, what? Chasing not, chasing what is not. And where is it anyway? Huh? Show me one person who has got it. That somebody can say, I'm fully contented. Huh? Where? Huh? I took care of them. The gate is suffering from loneliness. Bill Gates. All of you know Bill Gates. Yes. He's suffering from loneliness. If he press a button like this, 1,000 servants would appear immediately. Immediately, not a second, that very minute. Thousands of servants are out there. Yes. Yes, and immediately they carry out the order. But he is lonely. Why lonely? Was he lonely? Because he has no money? Huh? Because he has no money? He has no fame? He's not popular, he's not famous? He has no power? Why is he lonely? Ignorance. We are not spiritual. We are not thinking about what is the goal of human life? What is the purpose of this life? Why I have gotten this form of life? There's so many species of life. Why am I having this form of life? Why am I having this body? Nobody is thinking about that. We are simply thinking about what is not permanent. What is not permanent is perishable. Perishable. The problem with that is that we are going to be disappointed, and we are being disappointed every time because we are eternal beings, and engaging ourselves in temporal things. How do we expect to be happy? How do we expect to be satisfied while we are dealing with that which is temporal? We're not temporal beings. If we're temporal, we'll be satisfied. We're not temporal, we are eternal. Therefore, we have to pursue that which is eternal. That is Krishna consciousness. But how many people are interested in Krishna consciousness? And even those who have come to Krishna consciousness, what is our interest in Krishna? How strong is our desire in Krishna consciousness? How strong is our interest in Krishna consciousness? But I know that before death comes, I'm ready to go with a big smile. Many people leave the body with anger, disappointment. With who? With who? Huh? Disappointment, the anger, frustration. Why? Because we, in the mode of ignorance, did not allow us to do what we're supposed to do and become liberated. Those who are liberated, they live in the body, they're happy. They're very happy. A person in Krishna consciousness will be very happy. Why? Because we have fulfilled the purpose of developing Krishna consciousness. We have perfected our life. So opportunity for us to perfect our life is given. That is also the reason why Krishna is teaching this. How many people know what is ignorance, what is passion of goodness? How many people know about this? That the whole universe, the whole world is controlled by these three goals. Everybody is controlled by this thing. The people in the mode of goodness, the Prabhupada says in the book, they're the opposite of ignorance. Opposite. In goodness, people are attracted to activities which is very elevating. Therefore, they're always very happy and satisfied. In the mode of passion, people are addicted to have struggle, intense desire to get, to accumulate things. And people are doing like that. Working very hard to accumulate the things. Whatever we get is not enough. We want more and want more, want more. The more we get, the more desire to get. In this way, we constantly remain in struggling to exist. And in darkness, in mode of darkness, there's no question of a God consciousness in darkness. It's only destruction. People are addicted to destructive things. Only that is very dangerous. I don't consider how you feel when I'm doing something. I don't consider the anxiety I'm putting you when I'm doing something. I don't consider if you are going to benefit from what. You don't consider. The only consideration is if it benefits me. For you, go to hell. And even that we're approaching God, we're begging God to please give me power to put the whole world in anxiety. People are praying for that. They're worshiping God. They kneel down and pray and beg. Please, God, give me power so I can do somebody, so I can cheat somebody, can take their money and be happy. And then what happens to them? That is it. And we have people that are praying for us also for that. Some people are praying for someone to become simple. So here Krishna is describing the model to help us change, make a change. Give up that which is painful and enter in that which is liberating. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If anyone have any question, please type your questions in the chat box or can raise your virtual hand. Yes, we have Pran Hari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Nice to hear your lecture. Sorry, I was a little late actually. Maharaj, this thing, very nice lecture on the mode of ignorance. We are always there in that. Now the question is basically that if one gets into the mode of ignorance, how he comes from the mode of ignorance to darkness? What is the what he gets so that he awakes from that, and get into the mode of goodness?
Yes. What makes us to come from goodness to ignorance? That was the question.
From ignorance to goodness, actually the other way around.
Is that the question?
Yes, Maharaj, yes.
Ignorance to goodness. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That's very positive. How do we rise from ignorance to goodness? Yeah, very good question. By taking to Krishna consciousness, you're already on the path. You look at the activities very carefully. Look at the activities. Huh? What do you do the whole day? Chanting Hare Krishna, right? You're studying Bhagavad Gita. You're taking Krishna Prasada. We hear lectures. We associate with devotees. See the deities. And think about Krishna from what we have heard. That is how we transgress to goodness. And then goodness to transcendence. That's the process. Rupa Goswami gave us the graphic elevation, explanation. And Papa enumerated in chapter 4 of Gita, text 10. Papa we discussing it this 4:10 in purport. You see proper put it there. From Bhattari Samvitsani. Ado Sada Tada Sadhu Sanga. This is the beginning. Ado from the beginning Sada. This Sada from the beginning is a Laukika Sada. Ordinary faith. It's not strong. It's ordinary. But that is the fortune that one has the little faith. Tata Sadhu Sanga. That little faith will bring one to meet with the sadhu, bring one to the sect of Krishna consciousness. You see, from our low platform, we have been given this chance. So what do we do in the association of sadhu? What do we do there? Bhajana Kriya. Bhajana Kriya. We have a auspicious activity. We technically, it's called sadhana bhakti. At the beginning, sadhana of auspiciousness, sadhana bhakti. The beginning was auspiciousness. Huh?
Yes, sir.
When there is bhajana kriya, there is also a progression. There is always a result. The next thing is what? Anartha liberty, shat. Anartha liberty. All the unwanted things are being washed off. So ignorance is going. And as you continue to practice, the ignorance will continue to go. I will transcend to passion, then to goodness, then to transcendence. This is a process of going up. The fire of devotional service is so strong, it will burn off all the impurities. To commit sin. Say, so if I steal someone's thing and I go to my Reverend Father and confess, I stole somebody from yesterday. Please forgive me. The Reverend Father will say what? I forgive him. Okay. The person I stole the phone, it's an anxiety. The Reverend Father has forgiven me. The person is an anxiety. Is that forgiveness? You think I'm forgiving? Huh? No. You think I'm forgiving? They say, who feels it knows it. The Reverend Father, does he feel the pain I'm causing someone who have lost the food? The Reverend Father feels it. So he can easily say, I forgive you. What is the person who is feeling which one is stolen? That is cheating. That is cheating. It's ignorance, it is foolishness. That's ignorance. The person whom I have stolen the food should forgive me when I have realized my mistake and I have gone to him to beg him for me and go further than that to return the food. Then a forgiveness will work. Yes. That is goodness. That's goodness. Ignorance, we don't know this. And we're acting foolishly. So this is a process of transcending ignorance. Then we'll be acting differently. Our activity will be based on knowledge, like we were discussing before. A person in goodness, he checks his or her activities carefully before he does. In ignorance, people commit sin without thinking they have done something wrong. And especially when we have somebody, a so-called person who we think is a holy person who will share the thing I have stolen with me and give me blessing. That's ignorance. Fool number 1 and fool number 2. They're complementing each other. That's darkness, ignorance. So we have to transcend that by taking the association of sadhus. Yeah, go to holy people, real holy people. People are really holy. But they are not appreciated. People are very holy that have the solution to the world problem. People don't go to them. Why? Ignorance. People prefer to go to where they will be cheated, because that is what we are. A cheater must be cheated. I'll cheat you today, tomorrow you cheat me. That's what is going on. Today I'm the first to cheat you, tomorrow be the first to cheat me. And when I cheat you, I'm smiling. When you cheat me, you're smiling. So this ignorance is going on. So Krishna consciousness is to help us, to give us the vision, to give us the vision to see, the eyes to see, the understanding, to see that where we are going is wrong. Let us follow the right path. That is Krishna consciousness. But few people will take the Krishna. Majority of people will not take the Krishna. It is not because Krishna is not God. It's not because Krishna is not bona fide. It is because people are in ignorance. And those of us who are even taken to that, we're not so sure because of us, also ignorance. We do foolish activities which are very, very disturbing. But in goodness, people do activities which are very elevated. It's beneficial. It's beneficial. That's how you know somebody in the world of goodness. Each of activities benefit the whole world. They say broad-minded person. A cripple-minded person in darkness, he doesn't do things which is beneficial, even for himself or herself, not to talk of others. All right?
Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj,
Yes,
just one more. Yeah, thank you, Maharaj.
Yes.
We have the next question is from Saki Mataji.
Okay.
Can I read it?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, if a devotee desires to become rich so that he or she can engage the wealth more in the service of Krishna and Guru, is it a contaminated desire in the mode of ignorance?
Krishna consciousness is not about wealth or poor. is beyond being wealthy, being poor. Because both poverty, they are relative, but Christian consciousness is translated, not relative. There are many people who are very, very rich and still Krishna conscious. Pondere Vidyanidhi. His trash can is made of gold. Understand? Trash can, a devotee. There's a trash can in Nigeria. Where's the trash can? Plastic. Pondere Vidyanidhi. Trash can, dustbin. The trash can for Pondere Vidyanidhi is made of gold. Is that poverty or rich? Rich. Rich Christian. Yeah. Then we have also a devotee called Abhishekara who really have money to teach his daughter. What do they man feel? So Krishna consciousness is beyond. So if one have desire to get money so I can serve Krishna better, it's not a bad thing. But it will become bad if it's affecting my progress in Krishna consciousness, constantly meditating. One would like them to serve better. Well, I don't like get money to serve better. I know one devotee was telling me, "Oh, you know, Maharaj, I'm just praying seriously to get a car, so I can come to Mangalati every day." I said, "Oh, that's very good." He got the car. He doesn't come to town. Before he got the car, he was coming, at least. Not every day from Mangalati, but he's coming. After I got in the car, 3 months, you don't see. So I told him, Prabhu, do you remember you told me 3 months ago that you get a car, you come away every day? Tell me, Maharaj, you know, material energy, material world. Material world. Kali Yoga. So strong. He was telling me. I reminded him, Prabhu, you know, he told me this. I came here for a month and I not seen you. Material energy is so strong. And I say, what we have. If we can serve Krishna when we have nothing, we serve him if we have something. If you cannot serve Krishna if you don't have, even if you have billions, you don't serve. Yes, because the thing is not the thing we have, it's because it's our consciousness. So nothing wrong to the proper wanted the whole money in the world. So it's not wrong. So I know. Right? Yes, sir.
The reason why people are not embracing religions, so-called religions. Have so many religions.
Yes.
If you go to India, have their own religion.
Yes.
And you go to China, the same thing. And you know, in Africa, we don't have our own religion. Where is our own religion? I think this is the big reason, because it's not our own. It goes on us. That is the reason. People are not practice any of this religion. That's from Christianity, Muslim, Islam, or Christian, or whatsoever. They are all not our religions.
Yes.
Where is our religion? The reason why we are not practicing it in full. That is one
okay. Why people are not taking seriously, some people are taking seriously the Christian cause? Because it's not the African religion. I don't think that is the reason. Because if you don't have your own, then it means you don't have. It means you don't have. If nothing is there, it means you don't have. Not that God will give, Not that God is not giving. God never forget anyone. God never forget anyone. Why? Everything God gives to us, we are not using them. Not everything God has given to us that we are using. There's so many things we are not using. So many things God gives to us we are not using. Not because God has given, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explained from the beginning of this creation, from the beginning. He didn't say some species. So all living entities, especially the human beings. Krishna said he gave us a religion. The Supreme God gave every living entity religion, especially the human beings. He gave us religion. Not only religion, he gave the blessing that by following this religion, you will attain what is necessary for our maintenance, and at the end, go back to him. It is here about Gita chapter 3, verse 10. That is, this is what Krishna did. He gave it to us. By the way, religion is in the beginning of creation. You hear it? In the beginning of creation, for this material world, not the black, the whole world. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of creatures, the Lord of all creatures, the Lord of all creatures, sent forth generations of men and demigods, along with sacrifice, which is the religion for all human beings, especially living entities and human beings. A sacrifice for Vishnu. What is sacrifice for religion? For Vishnu is religion. God gave religion for all and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy by the performance of this religion, which I have given. Because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation in the next." But we don't do it. Why? Ignorance. That's what we're discussing today. Ignorance. Because we don't know it. We have forgotten it. Why we forgot? The desire to gratify senses. We are committing every day heaps and heaps and heaps of sinful activities. And that is the religion people are following today. Look around. Look around. The religion people are following, the religion people are following today is a religion. Sinful activities. Abandoning the path God has created for all of us and following unnecessary path is our problem. It's not because God did not give us religion. He gave. God has given the true religion, and then we have created our own so-called religion. What is the proof that we created? Religion is to make us holy. Is it not? Religion is to make us holy, to teach us holiness. But now religions are fighting. Is that holiness? Huh? Is God who tells us to do like that? No. It is our own making. Why? Ignorance. It's ignorance. We are very ungrateful people. That is the problem. Does that answer my question? Therefore, we should rise from ignorance to a higher stage that will be able to appreciate Krishna consciousness and follow Krishna consciousness. Not because it's not our religion. It is what we have forgotten. God is for everyone. Krishna is for everyone. It's not for some people. And Krishna consciousness. What is Krishna consciousness? It means God consciousness. So God consciousness is our religion. Yes, that is a natural religion for everyone, all living entities, to be God conscious. Well, Hare Krishna movement is propagating that. So it is not that the religion of Hare Krishna, it is because we are promoting that. That is why it looks like it's our religion. But this is for everybody. So we are trying to encourage everybody, please take to this process for your own good. Yes.
From the Bible, In the beginning, God created heaven and earth.
Yes.
I don't know when hell was created. If it is there, that's was it actually created?
Very good question. I think it was last week. Last week, the one pastor was asked this question. God created heaven and earth. So we were God creating. We were creating heaven and earth. He didn't answer the question. He was running. He didn't answer the question. He's a Christian. He didn't answer the question. So now, yeah, also, as we're talking, I was just remembering that question there. If God really created hell, yes. In the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, all the details, not only hell, but only one hell. In Bhagavatam, there are 28 hells, 28 divisions of hell, 28. Not only one. A particular hell there for religious cheaters. Religious cheaters. People are cheating in the name of religion. It's a particular hell. People who are addicted to drinking alcohol, this is a particular hell. People are addicted to illicit sex, that particular hell. All the simple activities we are performing, we have been grouped like that. That is the work of God. That God is very expert, very experienced. You don't make mistakes. Because if someone steals 10,000, another person steals 1 billion, both of them are thieves, but the punishment will not be the same. It should be different. Therefore, God has made everything perfectly like that. In every country, when they are designing their cities, they will include prison. They will include prison. You know? When they're designing, even though people are not living there yet, right? They're designing that. In that design, a prison also is given there. Why? Because they know that sinful people are going to be there. Therefore, there's also a provision. Similarly, when Krishna is designing this material world, he includes the hell. So that people who will violate the scriptural rules and regulations will be sent there. This is there. Very, very serious place. Very serious place. So yeah, it's created by God. God designed that. As he created the material world, he also made that small section there for people who are violators of religious processes. They will be sent to there. They will be there to pay for everything. Everything we do, it is there. Definitely, it's designed by God. So when Krishna was creating, when they are building a house, you cannot be inside the house building the house. You must be outside building the house. So Krishna cannot be in heaven and the earth. He must be in the spiritual world. That spiritual world is called Goloka Vrindavan. That is the home of God. That is where he was. That is where he is. And it is from there he deputized. Not that he did it himself, he deputized his workers, his managers, with all the ingredients to construct this material world along with the hellish condition, the planet. So they're all perfectly arranged. And there is a chief judge for everyone. All of us here, we have our file with him. Our file is there. Our name is there, boldly written, so no mistake. So what we think every day, what we do every day, everything is all recorded. And when we leave the body, he's going to show us, see all the things we did. And then the result will be given. That is it. That is the situation. Yes, any questions on?
Yes, we have from Venkatesh. So is saying, Krishna Maharaj, thank you for your association. After coming in path of devotional service, how to increase determination to progress, and also how to get intelligence to take right decision in daily lives. Your servant Venkatesh.
To increase determination, it means you should increase the quality of our sadhana. Everything based on sadhana. as we continue to get purified by our practices, that is how all the specious things, all the wonderful qualities we developing. If we just plug ourselves into the part of bhakti, all good qualities we're developing as we continue to progress. So let us continue to intensify our practice. That's what we need to do. All the good things will come. Jananda, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Hare
Please
Krishna.
accept my humble obeisances as the dear service of the sweet Guru Maharaj.
Thank you.
Maharaj, as you mentioned that the mode of ignorance is characterized by sleep. And you also mentioned that devotees who are practicing for like many years, they also fall victim of the mode of ignorance. And we see very often devotees when they take the Bhagavatam or they take the japa, very soon they fall asleep. So
Yes.
this is an indication that they are being influenced by the mode of ignorance. But when we also see that when devotees are tired with their service, they have done their service very intensely, again they fall asleep. So do we categorize it in the same like mode of ignorance, or it is different?
When we are taking prasadam, do we fall asleep? Do we fall asleep when we are taking prasadam?
No.
So it means what? We have taste. We have taste for the prasadam. And we don't have taste for the name. Three years, Radha Sakura was sleeping on japa. We didn't hear. Or the 𝐶𝐸𝐥𝐢 Swamis were sleeping while they are chanting and writing their books. We didn't hear that. It's only we who do that because ignorance is there. Ignorance is there. The ignorance is there. And of course, having said that, it is also true that some it is not to be. And then we should not be discouraged by it. Oh, after 100 years, I'm still sleeping on japa. We should not be discouraged by that. Why? Because if you are not making advancement, we will not keep practicing. We'll give it up. So the fact that we still have interest to practice, we are still pushing on means that one day we will transcend that and come to the perfection stage. Therefore, there is a little advancement going on there, so we should continue. Let us continue. Steadily, without fail, we are sure to transcend ignorance. Thank you.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Srila Gurudev, we have one last question from YouTube. So the question is from Prabhu John Aikens. What should we do as grihas since we have to do some work to keep the family? Please, I want your advice on this. Are we really on the path of liberation? Thank you.
We should work. We hustle there, we should work. So you get the means to maintain the family. Not tell the wife and the children that are not the body, when they need something. Don't say that. We should work to maintain the family nicely. So that we can also have peace to channel. If we don't have money to maintain, we'll become money conscious and not Krishna conscious. Because while we're chanting, while we're doing something to be thinking of money instead of the real thing. So we should have money. To be Krishna conscious doesn't mean we should not have money. Yeah, we should have everything because only devotees know how to use everything for Krishna's sake without the entanglement. So as a householder, we should work. Bhakti not could have said, as we're working, we should also carry our Krishna consciousness along. So do both of them. We should not minimize each one for anyone. We should do both of them nicely. Then we can happily practice and attend to Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We have now reached the end of our session. So thank you very much, Lagurudi, for this lecture. And we thank all the devotees who have come today. And we pray to see you on next Monday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Srila Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj ki, Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami ki,
Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.